the Seattle Area Hospital. My skill in moving energy combined with my medical background have been a catalyst for change in many people's lives. I hope the next hour will be transformative for you as well. Good morning, and excuse me. Good morning, and welcome to the Manuchehri Show. We're live here in really gorgeous, high-traffic Seattle. So if you're driving anywhere this morning, just relax.
Turn around, go back.
Go back. But he says go back and go to bed. Just take a nap.
No, just turn around. Go back wherever you're from.
Okay. No.
We're full.
Yeah, we are kind of full. But, you know, one of the things I love about all the new people who've moved into Seattle is they're actually really friendly. And
totally.
And I am actually a Seattleite person. I was born and raised here. And I'm not like I say hi to everyone I go on a walk with, and maybe 10% either look back or respond, but I'm used to it, right? I'm used to it.
Sure.
I was very surprised one day when I was in Chicago, and everyone said hi back and told jokes, and even one person invited my friend and I over for dinner. We didn't go over to their house for dinner, but people were very, very friendly.
That's being very friendly.
Well, that's the Midwest for you. It's lovely.
All right.
So here we are in busy Seattle, and one of my favorite wonderful things to do is to interview people who I believe are on the leading edge of thought. And so we get to do that today. And, you know, East West Book is famous for the individuals that they bring in to host events with. And Danielle Laporte, she is an author. She's also one of Oprah's Super Soul 100 people in this fabulous group, which is, Oprah calls it unique, these people who uniquely connect to the world together with a spiritual energy that matters. So she's one of those incredible people. She's also the author of Firestarter Sessions, a guide to creating success on your own terms, and the Desire Map, a guide to creating goals with soul. This particular book has been translated into 8 languages. It evolved into a yearly day planner and journal system, a top 10 iTunes app, and an international workshop program. And yes, if you haven't figured out who we're interviewing, we are interviewing Danielle Laporte, and she's going to be here in Seattle. She's going to be at the Marks Cathedral, which means a lot of people are going to come and watch this wonderful woman who's also a comedian. I want to hear about this part of it, who uses spirituality in a comic sort of form and also direct, you know, white hot truth sermons of life. So Danielle, welcome to the show.
Hi. You know, if you were walking in Vancouver, I would say anywhere in Canada, we would all say hi to you.
I know. So you're in Canada. I was curious where you're at. Yeah. I know.
Well, Canadians already are so friendly.
Are so sweet.
They
and
are.
so kind. Yes, you are right. So what got you started into studying spirituality, or were you born thinking about spirituality?
Well, it helped being born to a mom who was getting her bachelor's degree in psychology and reading Wayne Dyer and Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Wow.
And all of that. So that was all available to me when I was young, and just curious, really curious.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you started writing, correct? I don't know your total path, but so you started writing about spirituality, and that's what really kind of cemented you in this wonderful career that you've created for yourself.
It's been circuitous, like all good journeys, right? So I was a publicist. I lived in Seattle for a while, actually. I was, this is my early 20s. I was the manager of an apartment building in the university district. And that was the equivalent of getting a psych degree, because you just, all different personalities and spectrums of consciousness, and you learn how to deal.
Make them play all nice,
tank.
Right? Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, you
have to
see
play
all
nice,
night
yeah.
long. I ran a think tank in Washington,
Right.
D.C., and just all the while, just lots of workshops and ashrams and searching, and of course, I'm thinking a lot about my time in Seattle right now. Just
How nice.
I remember going to a Buddhist retreat out of a Vipassana center there, and really trying to, meet my consciousness, and watching my in-breath, watching my out-breath, watching my breath, And I remember saying to the teacher afterwards, well, she asked me how it was going, how my practice was going, and I said, my mind is starting to feel emptier, which I guess is good, because that's apparently the goal, but my heart doesn't feel full. And, just another refinement in figuring out what was gonna work for me. And by work for me, I mean, like, what made me feel alive and lit up and connected to life. And so, like, that form of meditation, great experiment, moved on to other forms, other teachings, and mostly I just write about, what I find. Mostly I write about love.
I just think that's beautiful. And your talk that you're going to be giving here in Seattle on June 1st at the St. Mark's Cathedral, which is going to be it's a beautiful cathedral. You may have seen it when you lived in Seattle for a time. I'm not sure, but it's really beautiful. A lot of the monks there regularly do public chanting, which just makes the whole place vibrate with incredible frequency. So you're going to love the energy. It's going to be phenomenal. But you're talking about the heart and returning to the heart and being centered in the heart, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. My learning has been you can meditate and you can go through all the life hacks and you can do psychedelics and you can work on your manifestation principles. But for myself, and for a lot of people, teachers I've observed, you're going to have to go through the heart eventually. Right. There's no avoiding it. It will all get back to love and to self-compassion and bringing your wounds into your heart to be healed, and then using that love and that compassion to just like pour it on everybody else. Because once you're in there, my experience is, my own suffering has made me feel more connected to life and other people. And I really just want to alleviate suffering. Right. So my answer to that, my medicine for that, is the heart. Because within that, the heart is really about the qualities that come from love. It's about generosity, and it's about inclusivity, and it's about compassion. I mean, those are everything we've needed for eternity. It's everything we need most now, where we're at socially. And it's a beautiful time to be talking about the intelligence of the heart, because now a lot of research that's been being done on the science of the heart, the electromagnetic field of the heart, is proving what a lot of mystics have known forever, which is really our most powerful, literal energy comes from the heart. And it's the heart that dictates what the brain does, not the brain that dictates how the heart feels. And we've really, needless to say, we've had it backwards for a long time. So I really want to get it. I just want to turn things upside down, really.
I know you like that. You love to do that. You love to show the unobvious and make it, obvious, which is a powerful thing to do, is to find the things that are kind of hidden. They're really not hidden, but from our consciousness, we repress them or we push them off to the side and pretend that they're not there. And then to bring them out into the obvious is quite beautiful. One of the things I love about the heart chakra is really, at least, and I know that you hold this energy, at least I believe you do, is that, the love in the heart chakra is very neutral, because it's compassionate about everything. And so there's a neutrality to this powerful vortex in the center of our chest that connects to all things throughout all the cosmos, right? So there's this place where, when you talked about the humble of our own inner wounds, which is actually really nice to have that awareness, because it makes us understand others as well and have compassion as we have compassion for ourselves. But then to also just step into this place with play and fun and joy and neutrality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, other words for neutrality, non-dualistic, inclusive, oneness. I mean, that's that. There's so much space. Right. Everything's okay in the heart, and it doesn't mean we don't suffer, but we can see the meaning behind the suffering. We can turn the pain into power and into insight and into connection, and we can keep choosing joy. Like, my belief, it's almost a knowing. There's a difference between believing and knowing, but there's something, it's like just on the cusp of it's really true for me, is that wellness is our fundamental, natural, original state. And our job is to just keep returning to that. Just, it's like the poet Rumi says, just, it's about removing the obstacles to love. You don't even have to generate more love. Just get all the crap out of the way, all the illusions and the lies and the things that separate you from your God and each other. And it's all joy waiting for you there.
I wish our listeners could see your bio, because it's not the traditional bio. And what I spoke from earlier wasn't your bio. It was actually just information that East West Book sent me about you, because your bio's funny and real and really interesting. Like, this is part of it. And I know you know it, but for our listeners, I am for the light, the illumination that leads to liberation. My definition of holistic includes green juice and very loud rock and roll, pop culture, Eastern mysticism, justified anger, and deeply sweet empathy. I love the game of business and multimedia. I'm saddened by greed. I believe that generous people have more to give. There's more. I will mention this throughout the show because I think this is a really cool bio. I like it. Well, it's different.
It's like my artist statement.
Yeah,
why I'm here.
Right. It's a more authentic reflection of who you are and what you hold, and that you're more than some of the experiences that you had. These are your personal experiences, and so your bio becomes more translucent. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So it says here too that you're comic. That you find funny. You can be comedic about spirituality.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just talk to, like, when I'm gigging, it's really like a conversation with my girlfriends. The me I am now is the me I am on stage, give or take. I have a persona to protect myself,
Sure.
But it's the same me that's in the kitchen, and it's the same me in conversation with my girlfriends. And this is, my girlfriends and I can be talking about, like, really deep existential crises. Like, we're feeling the pain of a fractious culture and fucking politics in the U.S. and plastic. Oh my God, enough with the plastic. And then, like, in the next breath, we're like, did my ass look great in these jeans? Like, did you try those eyelash extensions? Like, that's life. And we can also laugh at ourselves for all the dumb new age stuff we do, and the spiritual bypassing. And
Danielle, you can't say the F word on radio. You know that, right?
Oh, you can't. Oh,
no, I got you covered,
sorry.
though. So there's your
That's
one
okay.
warning. Okay.
So Benny got you covered. You can say the A word, like the donkey.
Just not,
I think you can say the donkey word, but you can't say the F word. But we hear you. I like what you just said. That was adorable. Yeah, it's really great.
See, this is like, and also, like, I'm part of the wave of, mostly I do podcasts. I mean, you say anything on a podcast.
Right,
now.
you can. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, so in the spirit of keeping real, I mean, there's a great example. I mean, this is real life for me. It's like the deep stuff, and what's your meditation of the day, and who's got eco-friendly mascara. It all matters.
But it doesn't always work. I try. I really do try. I have more mascaras in my drawer than the average person, which really means I need to throw most of them away. But I try really hard. And it just, like, I walk out of a session and I look like a raccoon, and it's like, but I'm sure eventually someone is going to figure it out, and we'll have eco-friendly mascara that doesn't run all over your face. So one of the interesting things, of course, you've facilitated things in 15 countries, international workshops in 15 countries. Millions of visitors go to your DanielleLaporte.com every month for your daily truth bombs. So what are those exactly?
Well, the truth bombs are a really specific thing. So generally, I think what that's referring to is just come for my sermons about, light and darkness. But the truth bomb started as just these one-liners that I would write out. And then it turned into an app, and I just started putting them up on my website a couple times a week, and they kind of went wild, and they became a thing. And now there's like I have a series of, like, a physical deck of cards of truth bombs. They were licensed for a while for a jewelry line. Yeah, they become various things.
One of the things I love about you is, clearly you can be successful at whatever you want, which is true for anyone. Anyone can be successful at whatever they want. It's just you have to change your thoughts, work on your vibration. You can have and be whatever you want. But I think when someone has that, knows that capability of themselves, but then chooses consciously to be in alignment with their authentic self, I think that's very powerful. And that's what you've done. You've decided, yeah, I could be successful in numerous areas of my life, which you have been and are. But you've chosen to use what's true for you and the embodiment of your consciousness to the best of your awareness of it, and to be present with that. And I think that's very powerful.
Thanks. I'm doing my work.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's very, very lovely. I think it's gorgeous. Entrepreneur Magazine says that you are equal parts poet and entrepreneur bad donkey. Well, you know what I'm trying to say, badass. Yeah. Just don't want Benny to get into too much. But I can say that. Yeah. Okay.
That one I'll let you have.
Edgy, contrarian, loving, and inspired. That's what they say about you, which is quite lovely. So you're going to be here on June 1st at St. Mark's Cathedral. And so what are some, do you plan your talk before you come, or do you wait until the energy fills the room, or is it half parts, or how do you approach your conversation?
Well, just as a speaker, like professionally, I always like to know how I'm going to begin and how I'm going to end. So I typically begin with a spoken word piece or a prayer, and I end that way as well. What I'm most interested in talking about at St. Mark's is the intelligence of the heart. I've got a lot to say right now about suffering and the dark night of the soul, and how in suffering and pain, how we keep choosing life and choosing life-affirming thoughts and feelings to make our way through, and to really be the light in the darkness. Like, I think that, there's a waking up that happens for so many of us, where we just think, we're living in a wasteland in so many ways. And there's a lot of crisis, personal crisis and global crisis. Okay, so knowing that, acknowledging that, being aware of that is part of being a conscious person. It's part of like elevating your perspective. Now what are you going to do with that? You can't let that take you down. You need to be part of the change. And that takes spiritual practice. It takes an inner resolve. So I'm really interested in that resolve and that practice to be the light in the darkness, to choose the joy in suffering, to find the sanity in crisis. So, let's just talk about that a bit. And then all of my evenings, my events are always an open conversation. So like I'll sermonize a bit, but I'm really most interested in talking with people. So how it usually works is people just shout stuff out at me. You can just give me a word, you can ask a question, and then we just jam. That's really where the magic is, because I really just want to meet people where they're at,
I think
so
that's pretty amazing. Not too many speakers allow for the audience to participate. So it's kind of an improv, really, in a way. One person's question is going to lead to a whole nother, experience.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're very, very blessed and lucky to have you come to Seattle. Luckily for Vancouver, it's not going to be that long of a trip for you. And then come to the St. Mark's Cathedral. It's in that high vibrational, stunning frequency. And as it says right here, bring your gorgeous, broken, powerful, hungry hearts, and we'll tap into some wisdom by having a good laugh, maybe a good cry, at all the ways we can get lost to get back home where the heart is.
That's about it. Yeah.
So your book, The Firestarter Sessions, and that's to help people create success on their own terms. Is that so? I'm imagining that book is filled with everything that you've learned in your own entrepreneur process.
Mm-hmm. So the Firestarter Sessions, that was based off of I was running a company that I co-founded with somebody, and building it up to be, really a personality brand. And I got fired. I got Steve Jobbed from my own company.
Wow.
And so to hit the ground running, because I mean, I really left with just like, I had a BlackBerry, which tells you like what era that was in, and a lot of debt. So I just hit the ground running, and I did what I called Firestarter Sessions, one-on-one strategy jam sessions, mostly with women, on how to grow their businesses, because that's the one thing I knew how to do. Is like, what am I going to do? I know how to help women grow their companies, especially if they're web-based. And, you know, after a year or so, that I had a lot of stories and a lot of clarity. And that's really what the Firestarter Sessions is about. And it really revolves around what I call the burning questions. And those questions help you define really how you want to show up in the world. But the premise is, you know, as you read from the subtitle, really define success on your own terms, not somebody else's metric, not what they taught you in school, just so backwards. But what does it mean for you to be well? That's really what I want to support people. I don't really know answers. I mostly just have questions for you to ask yourself. Yeah.
From reading from your bio again, you write, I love the phrase Godspeed. It reminds us that the light is right here in a flash and that the universe is rooting for us. Godspeed. That's a really precious statement. I mean, first of all, I couldn't agree more. And what a kind thing to put in your bio.
Yeah, all true.
And then, of course, part of this, this is also from your bio. My core desired feelings are radiance and devotion, and two other words that I keep to myself. I think we know one of those words that perhaps was shared already on the air. You also write that music has saved your life more than once. And you talk about rock and roll, very loud rock and roll. So is that your music of choice?
Oh, God, no. Everything. It's everything. I mean, it's everything. Country, folk. We're listening to a lot of rap right now in my house. A lot of hip-hop, a lot of soul. All of it. All
Lovely.
of it. Yeah, love it.
Lovely. Well, I think, again, we are extremely blessed that you will be in the Seattle area June 1st. It's a 90-minute conversation. Everyone can go to eastwestbookshop.com and sign up for your workshop and your class. Wow, I'm so excited you're going to be here. I'm thrilled.
Me too. It's going to be a beautiful night.
It's going to be a beautiful night and beautiful energy, surrounded with beautiful people learning to feel safe in one of the most powerful energy centers of their entire body, which is their heart. Pretty incredible.
Well said.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And how else can people find you?
I'm everywhere. Center of my universe is on Instagram. I'm at Danielle Laporte. The website is daniellelaporte.com. And you can find me in Seattle on June 1st.
Wonderful. We look forward to it. And thank you so much for taking time from your busy morning and spending time with us.
Yeah, thank you. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye-bye for now.
And before we run off to our break, 877-825-8828 is the number for the show if you want to get in for a reading with Marie. We'll be right back. Marie is happy to announce her online classes for 2019. And if you wanted to take a class from Marie, but live too far away to attend her Seattle-based workshops, now you can, from the comfort of your own home. Video recordings of these classes are included in the registration. In August, embrace your empathic nature. This course helps the evolved, compassionate person enhance their own life as well as those they have a deep compassion for. Learning to individuate and allow one's own magnificence to shine through is one of the greatest acts one will ever do. This two-part course is August 7th and 14th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. For more information, visit energyintuitive.com.
Women for One is a global community that supports women in sharing their stories, claiming their voices, and making life happen on their own terms. They're advocates for women who are ready to step up, speak out, and shine, while expressing themselves with vulnerable transparency. Women for One's Pacific Northwest Truth Teller Tour takes place in Kirkland, Washington on April 28th. A Truth Teller Tour is like TEDx. with vulnerability and heart. During this event, courageous truth tellers will share their most powerful stories among a safe and supportive sisterhood. The tour follows on the heels of Women for One's Your Messy Brilliance Retreat, a fun, intimate weekend of moving past obstacles and stepping into our true voices and power as women. To find out more about these events and Women for One, visit womenforone.com. That's WOMENFORONE.com.
Do you struggle with dizziness or loss of balance? When you roll over in bed, does the room spin? Do you have a difficult time concentrating and ringing in your ears? These are scary and debilitating symptoms of vestibular disorders, which affect the inner ear and brain. These symptoms are invisible and are often overlooked by others, but there's hope. Learn more about vestibular disorders at vestibular.org. Visit vestibular.org or call 800-837-8428.
Hi, this is Marie Manuchehri, and I just wanted to let you know that I will be leading my second international retreat, this time to the Greek island of Syros. September 24th through the 30th, we will travel to this gorgeous Greek island and learn the art of letting go to experience incredible expansion. We will learn and practice and play with lecture, meditation, yoga, and enjoy all of the spectacular land and seascapes this magnificent and remote location has to offer. Surrounded by turquoise waters, literally, romantic sunsets, and Mediterranean flavors, you will learn about the power of allowing one's energy to bridge the cosmos, returning to you incredible desires. So please, for more information, go to energyintuitive.com. I hope to see you there. It's going to be an extraordinary experience.
Alternative Talk 1150. It's good for what ails you. This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA.
That was great music. Who is that?
Well, we didn't find her. We found you. She's not lost in the fire. You're here.
I'm here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the title of the song,
No, I
Lost
love
in the Fire,
that
by the way.
song. Oh, that is really great.
The
Love that
Weeknd's
song.
in it.
Oh, The Weeknd's in it?
The Weeknd.
Oh.
Do you know who The Weeknd is?
No.
Okay, that's. I knew Lisa would look like perk up and be like, it's
Yeah.
not The Weeknd. It's coming up. Yes, but
Yeah.
the person The Weeknd.
Okay, so that's the name of the band or
Yes.
the person or something
Yes.
like that. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
What can I say?
I'm helping you like a lot of other
I
people.
love it.
out
Yeah,
there.
I don't remember names. So since I don't remember names, I don't remember names of bands, either, unless it was like Earth, Wind, and Fire because they were like so popular and it was the very first concert I ever went to.
Well, that's why.
Right. So how am I ever going to forget that, right? In fact, I've actually seen the newer Earth, Wind, and Fire version at Saint Michel Winery in Woodinville. Yeah. Different people. I think they had some original people, but I think
Some of the band members kind of come and go throughout the years.
or maybe they're not alive anymore. I'm not sure.
Hey, that's very true also.
Right? I don't know. Being in the music world can be a little stressful. So
Well,
I don't
truth
know
be
what
told,
happened.
we're not on this planet forever.
This is
I
true.
know,
Benny,
but
you're so smart.
just let
This is
everybody.
just-
This is.
Why don't we have this conversation
Yeah.
with children? This is a temporary reality.
Right.
It's not going to last forever.
Right.
Okay, so we're taking phone calls, right? Who do we have next?
Well, if you'd like to get in, because you're not on this planet for very long, so 877-825-8828, and we'll take Michael calling in from Boston. Hey, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
We're great. Michael, how are you?
I'm great too. I'm so excited I got through today.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for reaching out for us. And so what can I do for you?
I'm just curious about what how you see my chakra system and
Uh-huh.
have any advice for me?
Yeah. Have you called in before?
I have not.
Okay, so this is your first time. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, and of course it's weird to, call into a show. Like I would never. I know that sounds terrible, but I would never do it. I'm actually kind of shy, although you would never know it. In front of a mic, I'm not, or in front of a group of people, I'm not, but I'm a little shy. So I can sense your shyness,
Sure.
I can sense that about you. And the reason why I bring it up is because your energy is just so polar opposite of that. Like you are taking in so much energy. Your auric field is really, really expansive. So do you allow yourself to embody that aspect of yourself?
taking in light or being not shy?
Yeah, not like stepping away from the shyness and really just let your light shine, so to speak.
Oh, it's so hard. And yet, yeah, it's like baby steps.
Mm-hmm. So,
But I am trying.
So here's what
I am doing.
Good, because this is what I have to say about it. And I'm saying this from personal experience, and I wasn't thinking about this until I drew out your energy. Because I forget how shy I was. I totally forget. Although I would not call into a radio program, so that tells us a lot right there, right? So because you're not being completely authentic with yourself, there's a whole nother part of you that wants to break out and be seen. And so the more you keep contracting or telling yourself that you're uncomfortable or that you're not happy, like I told myself for such a long time, I'm a very shy person. I had every logical reason to believe I was. I would turn beet red when I would give report off to the next nurse that was coming on, the next charge nurse. So this was just a one-on-one conversation. I would sweat like a pig. Didn't matter what deodorant I wore. And I wore toxic deodorant back in the day. I still do if I go on TV or something, I wear toxic deodorant. But I'm clearly not really a shy person. There's an aspect of that to me. It could even be resistance. I want you to think about that the shyness that you feel could very well be resistance, and that you're a very totally different human being. You have the energy to be very expansive. I think that's a bigger aspect of who you are, and something that as you step into it, like I get that you're working on that, but maybe use a what if question. What if it's really easy for me to be expansive? And what if it's really easy for me to be present with all of my energy and allow my magnificence to shine? I want you to start using those what if questions, because there's a whole nother person in here, a whole nother person. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel that.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
really true. And I'm, again, speaking from personal experience. I did not know I would be this type of person, had no idea. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You got those what
Good
if
to hear.
questions? Now you got those what if questions I said. Of course, the podcast will be up.
I'll have to re-listen.
Okay.
Like I was taking it in, but
great. So you can go to you can go to energyintuitive.com later on this afternoon, and the podcast will be up, and you're in the second half of the show. So you'll be able to listen. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Have a great day in Boston.
Yeah. Thank you, Marie.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Michael, for calling in, 877-825-8828. And we'll now travel over to New York, and we have Machi, I believe is how you pronounce it. Is that correct, Machi?
Yes.
Hi, Machi.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, you guys. Thank you so much
Of
for taking
course.
the call.
It's
So
my
excited.
pleasure. Is this your first time calling into the show?
It is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So what can I do for you?
Well, first I just want to say I've only heard you a few times, but your positivity is just spectacular, and it
Thank
made
you.
me really just feel very safe, and that I wanted to understand more of where you come from and what you believe in. So thank you.
You're very welcome, and thanks again for calling in.
Can we take you everywhere we go? Wow.
You want to
That
just
was
put her in a
impressive.
pocket? You want to put her in a
put
pocket?
her in a little
Aw,
pocket.
You're very sweet.
Small. I'm very small.
So do you have a specific question that you?
Well, I do.
Okay.
I'm newly released from a job.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
I'm starting out. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm starting out. I have a thought and a belief that what if I started my very own Reiki practice?
Yay.
I've been studying for a while,
Yay.
and so I'm deciding if that's really my true nature, my soul's true desire.
Right.
And I also have some gentle health issues. I think they're gentle compared to most, and so I'm trying to work through them through diet and some traditional Chinese medicine. I just kind of wanted to check in and see
how
what you
right.
what you thought.
Well, first of all, I loved your comment about what you said about your future career path. You want to be in alignment with your higher self, with your true soul. I think that's fantastic. And one of the ways I think individuals can make that assessment, although it's not exactly logical, it should be the real logic, the way we really figure out stuff is, do you feel energized when you do energy work, because that's a sign that, a big sign that it's actually a part of your path. Just like the first time I sat in front of a microphone, which, by the way, I was sweating again and turning bright red, and no one could see me. Where today we have actual cameras in the studio.
You're very
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah, I'm wearing green. Yeah, my favorite color. And, that's why I wear mascara at, on my kind of not totally working day at, 8 a.m. in the morning, because there's a camera in the studio.
Me too, Catherine.
Yeah, Benny's wearing his mascara too. But what happened, despite the intense anxiety I was feeling when I walked out of the studio, I felt completely on fire in a positive, happy, beautiful, amazing way. And that is the main reason why I do this radio show, even though I'm grateful that it helps people. If it does, I'm super grateful. But I actually do this radio show because it makes me happy. And we actually pay for our own shows here at KKNW. So to me, this is the way I give back to the world, as being through more joy. So if Reiki or any form of energy work makes you feel energized, then yes, that is a part of your path. Regarding your health issues, I don't see anything specific, quite frankly, but chakras 5, 4, 3, and 2, the energy isn't a technical leak. If we were looking at energy medicine, a leak to me would be that there's not energy moving in and there's energy moving out, not in a way of releasing stagnation, but a way of leaking life force. I don't see that in these 4 chakras. Just so you know, chakra 7, 1, and 6 are absorbing huge amounts of energy. So you have not working in your old job is really good for you. Like, you are so done with that job, And you were a wonderful employer, and it was a wonderful experience for a while, and then it wasn't so wonderful anymore, and then now you're gone. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So the two main chakras that can bring in a tremendous amount of light. They are, and it's beautiful. But what you have with these other 4 chakras is the energy is just moving in and out. So I wouldn't call that a traditional leak, because you're absorbing it, but it's moving out. It's kind of like leaving a faucet on. The water's coming through, but it's just moving down the drain, right? And we don't need it to move down the drain. We don't need to have your energy move out of your body. And so it does kind of weaken your energetic system, which could make these general health things, challenging. And what I'm hearing is all you have to do, this is very simple, and you already know this is true, all you have to do is spend more time loving yourself.
Oh,
And I think self-love is the glue that holds everything together, especially when you're manifesting a new career. You need to really pour on the self-love. So you're very kind and compassionate towards others. If you could just turn that to yourself, I think your immune system will just take a few notches up in a good way, and then we won't see energy just moving through these 4 important chakras. There will be a better balance of your system.
Oh,
okay.
My goodness, that's fabulous, and
So,
it makes perfect sense.
yeah.
And shared with just great love, and I will turn that love back on to
Yes,
you. And I guess we gotta do
please.
it.
Please. And keep me posted about your new work. I'd love to hear how it unfolds.
I will. Oh, you're just the greatest. Thanks a million.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
So you want to hear something funny, Benny?
I would love to.
Yeah. So for a little while, we're not really sure how many weeks it was, but apparently I was in Facebook and Instagram jail, which I didn't know, which basically means that my URL.
You got caught.
I got caught. It was a little contaminated. Apparently, we had a picture on my website. I don't know exactly which picture it was, because my web guy fixed it. It was not, like a bad picture. It wasn't like,
Sure.
no, really, it was innocent. It was an innocent photo.
Of course. They all come off being innocent at first.
Right. No, it really was innocent. But somehow it flagged Facebook, and Facebook owns Instagram. And so my URLs were blocked. And I guess it's actually a really big deal. Which I didn't know it was a really big deal. So Lisa, of course, has been diligently sending messages to Facebook, and I've been clicking whatever you have to click for Instagram when they won't let you even like a picture. Because when your URL goes to Facebook Instagram jail, you can't like anything. And when people click on your URL on Facebook, it gives them a warning that you're trying to connect to like a suspicious website. Anyway, somehow this morning we got out of Instagram and Facebook jail. I'm hoping it's permanent. I don't know if we're just on probation, or I don't really know what the deal is.
I think
But
appropriate saying would be like, "With that, boys, what you gonna do?" They're coming for you, Marie. They're coming for you.
So for now, we're in good standing, and we'll study all the rules and regulations a little bit better, and make sure that we don't whatever we did wrong. But anyway, just so you know, if we've been on a lot of social media lately, so if you somehow went to my Facebook page and you got scared, we're out of jail right now, just so you know. Yeah. So.
Too good. All right, so we'll run away to our more phone lines. 877-825-8828. I'm glad you're safe, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
And Susie from San Francisco is welcome. Is on the show. Susie, hi.
Hi, it's such a miracle to be here. I literally just started listening to your show this morning on the Energy Medicine Summit.
Awesome
What If
you.
show, and then I found out about this, and I called in. And it's so funny that you take my call at 9:44 because I've been seeing 44s every day since September 17th.
Really?
So it just feels like an extra special miracle.
Oh, well, thank you,
thank
Susie.
you.
And thank you for listening to the Energy Medicine Summit, by the way.
Oh, yes, it's been awesome. And your show, it sounds super awesome. So I'm really excited to listen to the rest of it.
Oh,
since I just
great.
started before this show.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much. And so you're a first-time caller as well, correct?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Just learned about you, so I'm very grateful. And
wonderful.
I was calling because I have all kinds of I have inflammation. I have lupus and Sjogren's, and I've had a torn tendon in my ankle back in 2015. I had surgery in January of that year, and now it tore again last summer. And my doctor at Stanford is saying he doesn't even know if he can repair it with surgery or if it'll work. And it's lupus. It just makes things. And I already had scar neuroma and nerve damage from the last surgery, so he's really hoping I can heal it naturally. And I've been trying all since last September when I found out again for sure that it was torn. I started taking CBD oil and doing physical therapy every week, and I just started celery juicing last week. And still am finding that it still yesterday was hurting a lot, and I just wonder if you can see me to be able to heal this without surgery, and if you have any ideas on what I can do.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love that your doctor said, okay, we've already tried surgery. Let's try some holistic remedies, which could, of course, heal the torn tendon or get your tendon and your body in a really good place where it doesn't get mad at surgery. You know what I mean? So either way, it's going to be effective. Have you tried any stem cell therapy?
Stem cell therapy?
Yeah.
No, I think I looked into, there was a person that was going to be like $6,000 or something.
Was it? I have no idea how much it costs, but they just inject it into the site. They take your own stem cells. At least that's one of the methods. You know what I would recommend
I did look into that.
And you know what I would recommend that you should do, although it's just left my mind for a second, so I'm just going to put that on hold, which means the universe doesn't want me to talk about conventional medicine right at this moment, which is very nice of the universe to go, don't talk about that right now. We need to talk about non-conventional. So whenever we're talking about the third chakra, which governs the lymphatic system and the immune system. So the third chakra is the third up. When we look at energy medicine, the root is number 1. It's in the pelvic floor. The second chakra is just below the umbilicus for women. And then the third chakra is right in that triangle of where the opening of the rib cage is. And it governs the entire immune system: liver, pancreas, gallbladder, spleen, stomach, small intestines, and the lymphatic system. And then on top of it, it governs all the endocrine organs. So when we've had people that have inflammation or autoimmune disorders, we know without a shadow of a doubt their solar plexus is affected. And so how much time do you spend loving yourself? Because every one of the primary chakras has a key emotional component. Like the first chakra is feeling nurtured and safe, or that you belong or feel somehow connected to your life here on earth in a positive way. The second chakra is about joy, feeling joy in life, whether it's career, relationships, money. The more you feel joyful, the better all of those things will be in your life. And the third chakra is the immune system, and its feeling is self-love. So how much time do you spend in loving yourself?
Well, I feel like I spend a lot of time loving myself. I'm in a book group where we do a lot of the Louise Hay Mirror work, and I write gratitude lists all day, so I'm in tons of appreciation all the time. I do tend to overdo things, though.
You're a perfectionist. Yeah, you're a perfectionist, which I like that quality. I don't think it's a bad quality, right? But it also means that, here's, it means that sometimes we don't give ourselves a break when we're perfectionists, right? But self-love is an emotion. The things that you talked about are lovely, and I think those are wonderful things to include in your life. But to love oneself is an actual emotional experience, like loving a child or a pet or a body of water or a land, because some people love a country. So how much of an emotional experience are you having when you're engaging in self-love?
Well, I really do feel like, during the day I'll say, I love you, Susie, no matter what. Like, if I feel like I've messed up. So I do feel like I give myself, one of our exercises in our book group is giving yourself 100 praises in the day.
No, these are good. But here's my example. So I'm not disagreeing with anything you're doing, but I'm still not feeling that emotion from you. So as I'm reading your energy, I'm going by my feeling, not the logical, perfect, wonderful responses you're giving me, right? I'm going by the energy, because energy runs on emotions, literally. So I'm thinking about how much I love my kids, which when my granddaughter was born, my oldest, who has a baby, my granddaughter's 18 months old, my daughter keeps saying every time we're together or in a group of people, she goes, Mom, I just never forget the moment I walked into the room to visit Camilla. She had just given birth to her child. And we were asked to remain outside. So it was just my daughter and her husband were together in the birthing room giving birth. And I didn't run towards the baby. Even though this is my very first grandbaby, I ran towards my daughter. And I love my grandchild. She's so fun.
Almost not the baby. You're like, the baby ran to me.
Yeah, but Mariam is my baby.
Right.
She's my first baby. So, and she just gave birth, so I just ran to her side, of course. So when I think of self-love, I think of the emotion of just adoring, cherishing, like they could, in which they have done, Benny. Hopefully, this won't be in your history. Like they've crashed cars, they've come home drunk, they've gotten bad grades in school, although they're all very smart.
You're
so their grades are like
my watch, probably.
Yeah. So their bad grades are like a B,
happens.
right? Like they're, but
they're kids.
So there's just this incredible emotion that is just a high frequency love that just you cherish and adore and makes you smile from ear to ear. That's what I want you to start incorporating in all of the wonderful things that you're doing.
Okay.
And notice you
I have
raised
to
your...
say I'm amazed you're a grandmother. You look so young. I was amazed
thank
you had
you.
kids.
Oh, yeah. Okay, facial yoga exercises really work. Just so you know. You can always get on YouTube. I do them every single day, but thank you. Yeah, so, but notice how your energy rose. Did you notice that? The difference between before I said what I said and after what I said? You can listen to the podcast and notice how your frequency changed. You laughed. Your energy got higher. So this means it's really important for you to step into that emotion. And I think the what if question could be, what if I feel incredible, loving emotions for me?
Okay, that sounds beautiful.
It's going to change everything. Then your immune system will perk up and no more worrying about surgeries. Okay?
Okay, so you think I can heal this without surgery?
I do. I personally do, but I'm not against surgeries. I don't care how people heal. Honestly, I think whatever works, but I do think you can. And I like that your doctor thinks so too.
Pardon me?
I like that your physician thinks so too.
Yeah, he wants to try to get it. Do you think the celery juice is helping me when I don't have a gallbladder? I heard you have to proceed with caution, but I'm not sure what that means.
I don't believe so. I've never heard that before. Celery juice actually is great for detoxifying the lymphatic system. So, but listen to your body. Listen to your body. Yeah. And if it tells you don't have any more, then don't have any more. Okay?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Really appreciate taking my call.
You're welcome. Have a great day in San Francisco.
Yeah, thanks, Susie, for joining us. We'll take now Valerie calling in from the Portland area, where you were just recently on the air down there on TV.
K2, they are so sweet. They're very, very nice. They're very sweet.
And you'll be back, I'm sure.
They have given me kind of an open invitation.
Yeah, that girl.
And so, when I have time, of course, I go to Portland and sit with Helen, whoever the host might be, and talk about spirituality.
Our wonderful little neighbors to the south.
Yes, they're lovely. So who do we have?
It's Valerie from Portland. Sorry.
Valerie. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Maria. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well.
Good. What can I do for you?
So I'm kind of in the middle of a transition time right now. I've been on like a spiritual nap for a while I recovered from some health stuff.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm ready to leave kind of our my husband has a big thriving happy company, but I'm wanting to exit
the company.
Yes.
Good.
Because I've been working with him for a few years. And
I know, and he doesn't want you to go. You know this, right?
I know. That's why he keeps pulling me back in.
But please, I want you to set a boundary, because this is kind of your deal where you're highly empathetic, meaning you can feel the feelings of others effortlessly. You never have to take a class on compassion.
Yeah.
You can if you want to, but I think you need to take classes on self-compassion, not and so you can feel him, and then you go, okay, honey, sure. And you don't do this just with your husband, you do this with other people too. And your new favorite word is no.
Yeah, okay.
And did you notice my force behind it? No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually what Camilla is saying these days, my 18-month-old grandbaby. No, it's so cute. She even hit the phone the other day when we were on FaceTime. She's like mad at Mimi, like, no. And my daughter's like, oh, sorry. I go, no, this is so cute. I love it. I love that she's got her her juice on, right? So act like Camilla, stomp your feet, throw your fist towards the ground and say no. And your husband's going to love it. He's going to think it's the cutest thing ever. I like your husband, and I'm picky.
He is wonderful.
He really is. He's a great guy, and I think he'll just laugh his head off when he sees this lovely, adoring, highly compassionate woman that he loves punch her fist towards the ground and stomp her feet and say no. And I've
been practicing.
Good.
I've cut down by half. I've cut down to like part-time.
No, but you need to leave, because I think there's something else for you after you take a nice sabbatical of relaxation, then I want you to think about what you want to do that lights your soul on fire, that's about you, not other people.
So what happens in the transition when our family can't afford for me to not work?
Well, you didn't say that a few moments ago. You said your husband has a very wonderful, successful business. So I think you need to reevaluate that.
Okay.
I want you to sit down and is that really, really true? Because maybe it's not.
Okay.
And then take some time off and rest and let the universe inspire you.
I have been feeling like all I want to do is work on myself in our house
sounds great to me.
Getting furniture.
I'm telling you. Go for it.
So maybe I'm forcefully saying no to all the mediocre jobs that are popping up.
Please.
That I really don't want to do.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Have a gorgeous day in Portland.
And keep practicing, though, and also set up the camera and get the video and then send us the clip of it.
We want to see you stomping.
We want to see her doing that.
Yeah.
Totally. One more before we jam out here?
Yeah, let's do that.
It'll be Sim calling in from Seattle. Hi, Sim.
Hello.
Hi, Sim. How are you?
I wanted to ask about my husband has diabetes. What would be good for him?
Mm-hmm. Well, diabetes, he must be type 1. Is that correct?
No, type 2.
Oh, that's great. So when was he diagnosed with type 2?
I don't know. He knew about it before he actually went to the doctor.
Okay. Is he taking insulin, though? Because he doesn't feel like a type 2 to me.
Okay. Well, he isn't.
He isn't taking insulin. Okay. Is he following the protocol?
Somewhat.
Okay. So we don't want him to go to type 1. And type 2 can turn into type 1, and I'm feeling it. So he needs to be, don't eat sugar. Period. Are you still there, Sim?
I am.
Okay. Does he eat sugar?
He doesn't eat any sugar by itself.
Mm-hmm.
He does, however.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mean he's spooning it out of the bag, but lots of carbohydrates, even high fat food can turn into sugars. So he needs to be extremely mindful of his diet, because he's so lucky he doesn't have type 1. It's a blessing, because it takes a lot of energy and responsibility and all of those things. But I'm very close to type 1 when I'm looking at him. I mean, really, I thought I was in type 1. So could you have him work on his diet, please?
Is there anything specific that I need? Because I make sure I try to give him what do you call it? No meat, no milk, no eggs, and no. He's better
off with protein. He's better off eating a higher protein diet and low sugar.
What the Eat Right for Your Blood Type book.
Eat Right for Your Blood Type would be great, but you really need lots of protein, and that could be the problem. Yeah, so I would reevaluate that whole decision about no protein, because protein is actually what helps people not to have blood sugar issues. Okay?
Specific types of protein?
Meat would be great, actually, unless he's a type A. So I go with Benny's recommendation, Eat Right for Your Blood Type. Okay?
Dr. Diadamo is the
Thank
book.
you.
Yeah,
It's a great book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. And I'm so sorry because we're done with reading people on the show. And I do have a class starting online on Wednesday, and it's all about creating wealth and learning to love money. So just go to energyintuitive.com, since we're not in Facebook and Instagram jail anymore, and sign up for our online courses. They're really fun, and I've gotten great feedback about them. Joyful blessings, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
The views expressed on this